Go.
Yeah. Go. Okay.
Oh.
Well, hi from Albany, Oregon, to anybody on Facebook Live. Hopefully somebody's out there watching us. So, hello. We are here with Boost Biz Ed, and we are about to have a discussion on sales and techniques for sales. Our presenter, Alex, has quite the background. And Alex Johnson II is our presenter today, TrueLife Financial Solutions. And he's presenting Old Folks Really Learned Me Sales, which I absolutely love the title. I'm pretty fascinated to see what this is. So Alex has successfully made that transition from that salary job to the all-commission world, which I imagine was a little bit of a change for you.
It was a challenge.
A little bit of a challenge. I've been there myself, so I know that. So Alex has developed a lot of techniques. He works with a lot of the aging population out there, but he works with a lot of techniques in building trust and communicating clearly and those types of things in sales. And I think we all could use that in any of our endeavors, is just being better at being clear, communicating, and good sales techniques. So he started TrueLife Financial on March 15th, 2017, and primary goal of really providing insurance and financial solutions for people wanting to protect and cherish what they have and who they have in their lives, right? So I am really looking forward to this presentation, and let's just welcome Alex with some applause, please.
Thank you. My name is Alex Johnson II, like was mentioned earlier. And I was sitting down talking with Drew, and I kind of went over the genesis of TrueLife and my experience and history and beginning in insurance. And one of the things coming from the tech world I found is when I worked for companies, I would develop project plans, and I would sell that project plan to a given company for a large chunk of money up front. Well, when those companies started going out of business at Corrales, and one of the businesses I showed up to work for, my chair was outside, there was a box with my stuff in it, the signs were down, and I got a check. And so I was tired, I was frustrated with taking a tech job, being a great project manager, and being paid to be a great project manager, and then something would go well, and the company would be sold. Or they'd be a downsize, and mid-level managers got to be the first to go. And so I decided to look at other industries, one being insurance, one being real estate, one being mortgage. Well, that was in 2007, 2008, so that wasn't really working for me, right? So what I did was I decided to take my insurance test just to see what it was about. And I actually enjoyed it, and I took the test up in Portland, and I ended up getting a job with a company that focuses on senior solutions, Medicare, supplements, prescription drug plans, cancer plans, and things like that, and final expense. Well, I was told that you won't last long in this industry because it's tough. It is really tough. And that was in 2010, December 2010. Well, 2018 in March, I am still in business, and I'm flourishing, and the team is growing, and I'm having a lot more fun than I ever had in any other industry. So I brought this up. The title was Old Folks Really Learned Me Something. Since 2010, I have had the extraordinary experience in working with over 2,700 seniors in the state of Oregon. More than that, the 2,700 have become clients in the state of Oregon. And my team is growing. We're in California. We're actually in 13 states. And it's really nice because those seniors will call. It doesn't matter what time of day they call. If they need help, they need information, they call me or my team, and we figure out a solution to help them move forward. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Old Folks Really Learned Me Something is something I take great pride in because I didn't know what I was doing. And in the insurance industry, commission only sells. If you can't sell insurance, you're going to raise skinny kids. That's a fact. So today's agenda, we're going to talk about, do a quick brief history, quick purpose and overview. And then the four main topics, key topics today is your markets, know it and celebrate it, your product. Let's talk about three things. And there's a couple exercises I have for you. Your needs, discovering the intersection, and your talent, recruit your weaknesses. I think when I got into this industry, I didn't know what I was doing. I was a canned presentation. I'm now combined insurance with different companies I work for, and I use their language, I use their techniques, I use their tactics, and I failed a lot. It was horrible. I made money, but I had a hard time sleeping at night because I was doing things that wasn't my personality, that didn't fit with my way of doing things. And so I like quotes, and I'm a football official in a softball umpire, and I've been visiting this high school for over 17 years, local high school, And I had never turned around and read anything on the walls. And what I do, what my team does, what you guys do, you service people, you work with them on solving problems in their lives. And this is something that resonated with me. To the world, you may be one person, but to one person, you may be the world. And that's by Josephine Billings. And I'd never seen that quote. But when I sit down with a senior, when I sit down with a client, whether it be life or whatever it may be, and you solve their problem, you put a solution in force for them, the relief that comes over them makes you a trusted advisor, somebody that they can tell their friends about. And so I really take that to heart. And a brief history, like I said, I started this insurance in 2010, but I had a turning point. The tech company I worked for, we'd done so well that they had sold the business to another business in another state, and I wasn't about to relocate. I love Oregon. Came here in '94, and I've been here. I'm gonna die here. But the good thing about it was I worked for other insurance companies, and the Christmas Day in 2016, an insurance company sent me a text message and said, we'd like to have an emergency meeting on Christmas Day. Christmas Day. My grandson was opening his first San Francisco Jerry Rice signed football from me on Christmas Day, right? Well, anyway, I decided the next day to start writing my business plan, and I actually launched the business as Alex Johnson's agency, Alex Johnson II's agency in January. However, I'm sitting with one of my clients, and I call her Client Zero. You'll see a quote from her later on in the slide set. She said, Alex, when you retire, what are you gonna do with your business? You're gonna sell your name. I'm like, what are you talking about? And so that day, we brainstormed 5 business names. And I sent out 100 cards with those 5 business names, response cards, and I got 87 back. And it came back, 87 seniors sent me back TrueLife Financial Solutions. So that's where the name came from. On the back of the business card, you'll see the business card, TrueLife Financial Solutions. So that's where it came from. The purpose of this, what I believe the purpose of this conversation is to share positively actionable and education that may have a net positive effect on your business, life, and others in your spheres of influence. And then to learn from and with each other, and to have a little fun. I do like having fun, I think we all do, and I can be a character. Overview, we're here to discuss 4 elements essentials to selling today's rapidly changing world. As prospective clients are being bombarded by broadcast and social media ads, direct mail campaigns, and cold calls from our competitors, we must find ways to stand out, to be better at our craft, to compete and win. Does anybody feel that? Everybody feel the same type of pressure? You guys have Rocket Mortgage you compete with. You have other acupuncturists you compete with. I compete with other major corporations that sell Medicare, and the bombarding, the mailers come in. I signed up as a senior for a couple of those big competitors. I have a bag of, I should have brought it with me. I have a bag of stuff that I receive, and I'm 52 years old. Can you imagine what somebody in their 70s is receiving every year before their birthday? It's ridiculous. And so my business, I've set up my business, and the way I do things is I'm more personal. I'd rather send a personal letter, handwritten signatures on it, handwritten on the outside. I'll get more responses back from that than sending out a card. And so for you, I would hope that some of the things that we talk about today will help you with your book of business or your clients. And then somebody I love dearly, my grandfather told me this: if you don't tell any lies, you don't have to have a great memory. And that was my grandfather, Sylvester Armstrong Sr. And you know what? He told me that I was 10 years old. I was 10 years old when he told me that. I didn't get it until I was in the military. If you don't tell any lies, you don't have to have a great memory. And in what we do, it's the way we're trained. We're not trained as salespeople to be completely truthful. We sell the benefits, the features, lowest price, whatever price, value, get the money and go. Well, I don't like that. It never has been part of the way I do things. And so, taking back from my grandfather, I teach this to my children, teach this to my agents. Just if you don't know, I need to call somebody. I'll get the answer back to you, because they'll appreciate you more for doing the work to find out what the actual answer is. So getting into this, your markets know and celebrate it. What I do continuously learn from my current prospective clients. One of the things I encourage all my agents to do, I encourage any salesperson to do, no matter what product you're selling or what service you have, become a student and a subject matter expert of your business. Read read. There's a saying that we've heard in many different places, readers lead, leaders read, and readers lead. Read. If it's boring, read it twice. I fall asleep many times with my iPad or my Kindle like this, because I have to get that, I have to read, I have to learn about my products and my solutions for my clients. Actively listening at all times for concerns and needs. Does anybody here have to actively listen to what their clients' concerns or needs are? Can you give an example of this?
Well, a lot of times people, they don't necessarily know what they're looking for. And I know that sounds like a salesy comment. People really, a lot of times, don't understand what it is we do and the intricacies of what we do. And so it's super important to listen so you can narrow things down for people.
There you go. That's excellent. What about you, Jeff? We're in the same industries.
Right. Well, I think for a lot of my clients, it's to understand what their exposures are and then make sure they get those exposures insured adequately. And that's a learning process, because a lot of them are older, and sometimes that point is synced in about 20 years ago. And you need to bring them up and say, you know, 300,000 on liability was fine 20 years ago, we need $1 million now.
Okay. So you do the research, you put in the thought to help them see the value in what you have to offer. Same with Liz. The first time I signed a mortgage, I literally was shaking. I had never seen that it was actually more than when I joined the military. There were so many documents there, I literally, my thumb started cramping because I was doing like this. So I appreciate when somebody says, you know, Alex, let's sit down and go through this. It may seem like a lot of time to a lot of people, but if you really want to do the right thing by your clients and by yourself, take the time. Schedule 2 appointments, but make sure it happens. So active listening to concerns and needs at all times. Be honest, and that's boldly, but you really can't really tell, and purposeful in your communication. When someone calls you, when my clients call me and they say, Alex, I got a bill today. Excuse me? And I start asking questions, follow-up questions. What's it from? Who sent it to you? You know, did your price go? Can you explain it more? Or let's go ahead and meet so we can actually sit down and review it together. So be very purposeful in your communication. Say, well, that's no problem. I've seen more insurance agents lose their jobs because they said, that's no problem. Or, I thought we signed you up for that coverage. It gets expensive. One, your credibility is shot. Two, unhappy customers tell who?
Lots of people.
Everybody,
Yeah.
right? People that are really happy with you, they tell the people that they know that will buy from you. People that are unhappy with you will put it on Facebook, they'll put it on billboards, they'll put it in shopping carts, they'll write it on the side of your car. You are terrible. Be honest and purposeful in your communication. Commit to being a trusted advisor and a resource. Whenever I sit down with a client, and I encourage you all to adopt some of this, you sit down with a client, the first thing I do is I don't think about selling them anything. It's an interview. Because sometimes I don't know if they want to work with me. And they don't know if I want to be their agent. Because once you start working with people with bigger purchases like homes and with insurance and websites and businesses, you're part of their business. Whether you work for them or under their umbrella or not, but you're a trusted advisor to them. And so for me, I want to interview my clients. I want you to think about asking those questions. This is the first question I ask people. Trust me, I already have a solution I'm there to talk to them about. When was the last time you saw your agent? And 95% of the time it's when I bought my program 3 years ago. Well, I'm here now. Let's fix that. I reassure them, I let them know that they're picking the right trusted advisor. And this is something I took a risk on, and it works every time. If my client says, I need to talk to other agents, you know what I do? I give them a list of questions. Ask them these questions. If they can't answer them, give me a call back. It works every time. Be accessible and approachable. During our networking time a few minutes ago, my phone is on for my clients from 5:30 in the morning to 10 o'clock at night. I tell my clients I turn my phone off for family at 9, I turn it off for clients and agents at 10 o'clock. And I hold that true because I have been coming out of a football game in Coos Bay or in Walport, and I turn my cell phone on, and there's 15 voicemails. My husband just got killed. Did he have insurance with you? I answer those phone calls because it helps relieve that stress on the other side of the phone. Yes, he did give me the details, I'll come and see you tomorrow. So be accessible, be approachable. A lot of times we get busy, we don't have time to respond to every email. But a 30-second phone call to say, I got your message, I'll check back with you in the morning, let's make an appointment right now. It relieves that stress and they can move on with their day. And you can sleep at night. You're not worried about missing something important. Be emotionally intelligent at all times. I'm gonna share a quick story about Albany. A few months ago, actually last April, I had an appointment with a young woman. She just turned 67, and I didn't know her. She was a referral from another client. And I went to her, and the client didn't tell me anything. Go see my friend, she needs to talk to you about Medicare. And my clients, they trust their friends. And I get to her house, and I'm sitting in front of her house, and beautiful home. Grass was perfectly manicured, trees were beautiful, magnificent. And I'm seeing this beautiful Ford F-150 sitting in the driveway. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, because I got my truck tore up in an accident in June of last year. I'm thinking, I want that truck. But as I was walking up to the house, I noticed there's leaves all over that truck. Something's wrong. So when I knocked on the door, the young woman opened the door, and I'm like, he's not here. And so what I did was I stopped being in sales mode. I stopped being in insurance mode. I just went in. She saw my Navy sticker on the front of my jacket, my little briefcase thing, my little notebook. And she said, my husband was in the Navy. And we sat there for 2.5 hours talking about her and her husband. She had lost him in January. And the truck was the clue that let me know I wasn't there to sell anything. So being emotionally intelligent, recognizing the situation you're walking into. If a person says, I've had a rough day, I'm not focused, believe them. Because Maya Angelou said, a person shows you who they are, believe them. If they come in, they're frazzled, they're freaking out, you know what, let's go ahead and reschedule to tomorrow. I can get whatever surgeries I need tomorrow, because nothing is that critical, especially in a bigger transaction, that you have to get it done now. Put your needs, and we're gonna get there, put your needs aside for a moment and consider what they're going through. And so when I went back, as I was leaving the home, she said, thank you. I really appreciate you taking the time just to talk to me, right? But however, 3 months later I went back. Was she ready? She was ready to go. She was ready to go. So I want to do something real quick. That's that right there. Let me get to the next slide. I want to do an exercise. Let me give you this quote first. This is from Client Zero, my very first Medicare client in Brookings, Oregon. If you want my money or my time, I suggest you not waste either one. And she was dead serious. Okay. So the next slide is there's 3 things. So how many people have more than one product? Everybody, right? Mm-hmm. So this is something that I would like you guys to put your product in there. I do this for every one of my agents when I pass it around. And so take about 5 minutes, and I'm going to call on a couple people to share. And so hear me out on this real quick. 3 things. Understand and know your products and services at all times. You must know your products and services at all times. Understand and knowing the upcoming changes. I can guarantee you, Jeff knows all the upcoming changes to his insurance products as they come down the pipe. Understand 3 things about your product and service that excite you, not your client, that excite you about that product. 3 things, okay? And then highlight the features, because every product has a feature that, wow, it's great. But let's celebrate the benefits. What is the benefit of me getting a mortgage from LoanStar Home Lending? A benefit.
They get a home.
They get a home, and you're going to help them move, right?
Yeah, I do.
You're going to help them move.
Yeah.
What's another benefit?
Gosh, okay, now I have to think hard now.
How about going to a business and helping them get homes?
Yeah, mortgages at work, yep.
Yeah, mortgages at work. So I've known her long enough that I know she tells me about her products and benefits and services that I can actually spout some of them off. So when I sell her company to one of my clients, I'm doing it with knowledge of the experience with Brandon, with Daryl, and the people that work here at LoanStar. I have really positive feedback for them. And then never, ever throw up on your clients. You know what that means, right? Don't throw up on them.
Feature.
Don't throw up on them. I was a sales manager at Gold's Gym when I was a lot slimmer, a long time ago. I had an agent, a salesperson that would literally read the entire contract. Every benefit. Everything. You know what? She didn't last long. right? Highlight the features, celebrate the benefits. You get 24/7 aerobics, 24/7 training, and the gym is open 24/7. Oh, and if you join this program, you get a free Gold's Gym sweatsuit. Done. It's only $99 a month. That's it. While you're out there working out, I'll take care of the paperwork. You can approve when you get back. She couldn't pick that up. Don't throw up on them. Just tell them what they want to know. They walk in with a checkbook. Stop talking. Fill the paperwork out. No, seriously. Don't throw up on your clients. I did that. I drove all the way to Bend. I had 3 appointments. Came back with 0 sales. Because one of the people called me and said, you know we didn't do it today? You didn't let us talk. I was selling. I wasn't educating. I wasn't relating. I wasn't listening. I wasn't actively listening to their needs. I was trying to make some money. I went back later and fixed it, because with Medicare you have a timeline. But I learned from my clients, the old folks, telling me, you're messing up. You talk too fast. You talk too low. You're rushing, and you're watching your clock. When I go to a Medicare appointment, I take my watch off and leave it in the car. Just like being an umpire. I just leave it in my little center console. Cell phone goes off. I'm in an appointment, I'm in an appointment. Because what that does is we have been trained by our society that we must know what time it is at all times. But check it out. Most seniors' homes you go into, there's 3 clocks. There's one in the kitchen, one in the living room, there's one in the hallway somewhere. Just glance at it. Don't be obvious. They know you sell. They know why you're there. Don't make it so obvious that it's a turn off for them. So 3 things. Cameron, give me 3 things about one of your products.
I wouldn't go that far. Relaxation, harmony to the mind.
Okay. How about protocols for every element?
Oh yeah, that's true.
That's a benefit, right?
Yeah,
We can figure out what's wrong with you.
For all elements.
For all elements. I can ask you a few questions to kind of put together a protocol that will suit your needs. Right? So
Yeah.
you didn't throw up everything on me.
No.
But you just told me, Alex, you know what? You said your back was sore. This is what you told me. Your back was sore. You're a little hungry. You got a headache. I can do this for you. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And when I left there, I felt better going than I did when I came to you. So highlight the features, celebrate the benefits. It works. It has worked every time, every sales event I've ever been involved in. I've seen agents read a policy. I was actually at French Press watching another agent sell Medicare to a client. And I was in a one-to-one with another person in the Cherry City. And I'm telling him how I work with my clients. I start with the interview. I figure out what their needs are. If they're ready to go, we'll get it done. If not, I'll come back with the solutions. The lady got up from the table and sat down right in front of me. She bought a plan that day from me in French Press. This is something that's very important. Lost time is never found again. And that is the truth. Anybody that's in the commission sales, you spend an hour and a half or an hour or whatever time you need for an appointment, and you blow it up by throwing up all over your client, you can never get that time back. You can never get that time back. So when you're sitting with your clients and when you're sitting down with a prospect or a current client, you're trying to upsell that current client or sell them a product that they don't have but they need because of the value of it, how it can protect something in their future or one of their grandchildren. Be very purposeful in your communication with them. You know, present the features, highlight the benefits, celebrate the benefits, and that time won't be lost because you'll never get it back. And nothing hurts more than going to Salem or Woodburn or Portland and you're driving back with no sales. Because anybody that's married to anybody that's in commission sales, what's the first thing they ask when you walk in the house? Did you sell anything? At least that's why I've been programmed. Did you sell anything, right? So it's important for you to think about that time will be never found again. So use your time efficiently. If a client says, I'll be there at 3:30, be in your chair at 3:15. If a client says, can you be here 10 minutes early? Be there 15 minutes early because they'll appreciate it. And this is something I found working with seniors. If you're late, don't go. Call and make something up. I'm joking. Call and say, call ahead, say I'm going to be late. Would you mind if I show up 30 minutes late? Because they'll appreciate the honesty. Okay, discovering the intersection. This is an exercise I love to do. And what this is what I call the intersection of needs, because when every sales transaction, any transaction, whether it be man to wife, husband to wife, son to father, father to son, there's always somebody's needs in play. So pass those up, please. Let me have one copy of those. So there's two pieces. One for you, one for me. So the first one is an actual, so please, jump in. Any questions, please fire away. The first one is the first sheet of paper I'm giving you is an actual needs, intersection of needs I did for myself. I was going to put it in PowerPoint, but I figured the handout would be better to take it with you. So intersection of needs is whenever we go into an interaction, a sales interaction or a conversation interaction, any kind of interaction, any kind of transaction, there's two things in play always. Your needs and my needs, right? As a commissioned salesperson, my needs are, if you look at over here, commissions, bonuses, trips, referrals, and GOOD should be on everybody's list. Get out of debt. It should be on everybody's needs. And then for the customers, and I found this because of seniors, customers is suitable coverage, suitable loan, suitable coverage, affordable. I had low premiums there, but I wanted to kind of tailor it for this specific environment. Has to be superior service, accessibility. Your clients must have access to you. I have taken more business from other insurance agents because I called them 3 weeks ago, they haven't called me back. How are you any different? And I take out my business card. It's my cell phone. Call me if you need to. You can even text me. Or you can reach me on Facebook. I had a call this morning at 6 o'clock from a person who messaged me in Facebook. We had a 30-minute conversation about her coverage. I got 2 hours later, I got 2 phone calls from friends of hers because she reached out to me and I responded on Facebook. And then responsiveness. They know, our customers know how busy we are. They know how busy you are, they know how busy you are. They know how busy we are. But if somebody calls you and says, or sends you a text message, or leaves you a voicemail, you see the number, you recognize the number, take 2 minutes. Send a text back, I got your message, I'll call you in about 30 minutes. Or, would you like to set up an appointment for tomorrow? I have this time open. But the responsiveness is a big thing for seniors. If you don't respond, they're going to stop calling you. That's a fact. Believe me, when I worked at other companies, I have scars. I need to change my appointment from 11 o'clock to 12:30. And I didn't call back. I showed 11 o'clock, they're gone. Because I didn't call back. Did that once in Tillamook, from Albany to Tillamook, because I didn't respond to the voicemail. So, or didn't listen to the voicemail. So be responsive to your clients. Commit to, so this is important, is to be willing to subjugate your needs sometimes. So when I walk into an environment, no matter what product or whatever service I'm providing for a client, I want to understand their needs. Because if they say, well, I can only afford so much, I don't upsell them, because I believe them. But what happens is if you believe them, you subjugate your needs for commission, their referrals all come to you. I have one client, client 0. She referred over 100 people to me by herself. She called me right now, I'm being in Brookings tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. That's how serious I'm about that lady. I take care of her and her entire family, her father, stepfather, mother, all of them. They're my clients. Be actively listening to and for the client's, respective clients' concerns and needs. Write them down so you don't miss anything. You can touch base at the end of the conversation. So what I understand is that you have a concern about your prescription drug costs. I have a concern about your auto insurance costs. Can I refinance my loan in 10 years? You know, can I pass my house down to my family members? All of us in the world working with seniors, and you can just apply this to all your clients, address their needs and concerns right now. Commit to addressing their concerns and needs. You got to commit to it. You can write down all the notes in the world, but you never look at them, nothing's going to happen, just like your goals. Right? If you don't address your goals every day, or every week, or whenever interval you set up, you're never going to reach your goals. Well, if you don't address their concerns and needs, you're never, ever going to, I can assure you that, you won't sell anything. Because if you don't care about their needs, they're darn sure don't care about yours. That's a fact. So, so the next part is exercise. And you see at the bottom right here, I put, see 35 potential clients per week. 30 to 35, 35 to 45 potential clients per week. That could be referrals. That could be calling former clients. That could be calling existing clients. I'm in the area this week, or today. You know anybody who would like to speak with me about Medicare or auto insurance or reverse mortgage or a mortgage, because they do. You just haven't asked for it. And that generation, they're not volunteering anything. Either you ask me or you'll never get. And then give solid referrals, not just to BNI, but give solid referrals. On my list of people, some of the people on my trusted professional list are not BNI members. There's people on that list that will do great things for my clients because I've met with them. I've interacted with them and their clients. So when you give a referral to somebody, edify them. You know, Drew's a great guy. I think you'll like what he's offering. Please take a look at him or give him a call. Matter of fact, I'll just have Drew call you tomorrow. Is that okay? Well, here's his business card. Yep, have Drew call me tomorrow at 3 o'clock. First thing I do is get back to my car. I'm texting. Drew, you need to call this person tomorrow at 3 o'clock. And what that does, if it doesn't work for him, you can always call and say, I can't call you tomorrow at 3 o'clock, but let's set up an appointment for 4. That way he's been responsive. I look good to him, to the client, because my credibility is intact. And then maintain an active list of all attainable and realistic sales and personal goals. I have books that I take the first few pages of my books are my goals for the next, when I start a new book, I carry them forward. And I handwrite them, because when you write it down and you read it and you have to transfer it, they become real. They stick. I know I have to sell this much insurance this quarter to make this kind of money. Right, so you write your goals down. My son, I love what he did. I can't do the same thing in my room, but when he was in high school, we installed those sliding mirror doors in his closet. He has the dry erasers with all of his goals. So every time he looks in the mirror and gets dressed, he's looking at his goals. That was pretty brilliant. And then commit to serving as a trusted advisor to your clients and their referrals. We have to commit. If somebody says, Jeff, I need you to call my friend tomorrow, I don't care what time, but they were expecting a call from you, and you don't call them, they look bad, you look really bad, and that's the last referral you receive from that client. That's a fact. I sat down with a client in Tangent, her and her husband, and I asked her, I said, well, you already have this in place. Why would you like to talk to me about it? Because I called her 3 weeks ago, and I still haven't gotten a call back. Done. I said, well, you don't have a problem with me. So being responsive to seniors is very important. So the next slide is for you. So your needs, their needs. And this, don't do it here, but take some time. And if you need to make more copies because you have more than one product or you have more than one arena you play in, because I do this for football officiating, because I get tired of getting yelled at. But I resign myself to realize that no matter what I do, 50% of the people hate me anytime. Right? So I've heard Jeff's voice, but then again, on the flip side, I've heard Steve's voice on the other sideline yelling at me about calling me. So do these for every arena in your life. One of the things I do every year is the Veterans Parade. I help veterans get their cars and get in the parade and they get their drivers and stuff. And I did it for this right here, and the most important thing was being on time. You can't have an 87-year-old Navy lieutenant waiting for the vehicle to show up. You know, so the needs and they change based on the environment you're working in. Next slide. So anybody have any questions about that? Feedback? Questions? Anything? Okay.
Brilliant.
So my quote, I got this from Steve Jobs. My favorite things in life don't cost any money. It's real clear that the most precious resource we have is time. It is. All we have is time. The rest is noise. Money's a tool. My vehicle's a tool. You know, my grandpa said, grandson, don't ever buy a new car. I bought one. That's the last one I'll ever buy. Because I can go pick up a used car for half the price of a brand new car and drive it and have more fun because I'm not spending a lot of money on it. So don't waste your time chasing after things that don't add value to you and your clients. Don't do it. I'm lucky enough to have 10 advisors that are over the age of 70 that tell me the truth. Alex, that's a stupid idea. Don't do it. You know what? They got 79,000 years of experience between them. Why would I go against that? Right? Somebody asked me when I bought my Ford pickup, why do you buy Ford instead of Chevy? Because Ford sells 300,000 more Ford trucks than Chevy does a year. 300,000 folks can't be lying. Right? So my trusted advisors, I have a group that's in their 50s, or 50 and down, 60 and down, and I have a group that's over 70. And they tell me, Alex, I need pet insurance for my dog. Do you know anybody that sells pet insurance? I do. I sell pet insurance now. Right? Because I had so many of them asking me about pet insurance, it was a natural next step for my business. So listen to your clients. Don't waste time on things that are not important. If my client says, Alex, that's stupid, I stopped wasting time on that. I just let it go. I put it on it's still on my list, and I'll revisit it, but I've got 10 people with hundreds of years of sales experience and work experience and life experience. Then why would I not listen to them? So save your time. This is something I found very important, and it's been really helpful for me in all my careers, is your talent, recruit your weaknesses. And I believe this wholeheartedly, and I do it now. I've done it in every job I've ever had. You don't know what you don't know. That's cliche, but you don't, right? I don't know. Like this morning I found out something about somebody in my life that I had no clue happened. It was like an epiphany. I'm like, wow, I had no idea. But somebody told me, they educated me. That's my job with my seniors and my clients, is to educate them on what's available to them. And you do the same thing. But they ask you questions. If you don't know, don't dazzle them with brilliance or baffle them with BS. Go find the answer. And be honest enough to say, you know, I really don't know the answer to that. But you'll have it before the end of the day, right? Increase your overall industry knowledge, because if you hire people that know more about a specific arena than you do, now you have somebody you can learn from, right? You can learn the way they do things and incorporate some of those best practices into your best practices, and it broadens the intelligence of the entire organization. You're a reverse mortgage expert, right? I'm sure you're going to bring her up to speed on that, right? See? So you recruit your weaknesses. I recruit my weaknesses. I have an agent that specializes in final expense insurance. I've only sold 2 policies, ever. But now, when I go talk with him, have one-to-ones with him, or meetings, he teaches us all about final expense sales. It's a different conversation than something else that we offer. And I have an agent that is wonderful with disability, and she educates us all on disability. But we all leave the meeting with more information, and we're better at what we do when we're out talking to our clients. Provide the subject matter SME, a subject matter expert resource for your entire team. And that's what Richard is for my team. If I have a question about final expense, I call Richard. Hey, what you doing, man? I need a few minutes. I got a client that has diabetes. He's looking for $30,000 coverage. What can I do for him? Well, we got these products in the suite. Let's see what makes sense for him. And oftentimes, I said, you know what? I'm just going to have to set an appointment with Richard, because it takes it off my plate to have to learn it on the fly versus having somebody sit down as an expert to get it done. It allows you to focus on your expertise. I'm senior focused. Senior and life focused, that's what I do. But I have subject matter experts in all the other products that I sell. My company offers. And the great thing about that is, if I'm busy and somebody says, I need to talk to you about disability, call Carol, she'll take care of you. And Carol says, Alex, got the sale. Thank you, good job. And it's done. The client's taken care of. They didn't have to wait for me to learn it. Carol's handling it. And then your business can grow in more than one area at a time. A lot of times businesses pick 2 or 3 things, like, okay, I want to do reverse mortgages, I'm going to do conventional mortgages, I'm going to do X, right? Some other type of mortgage. Well, if everybody has just one skill set, those other ones are going to languish. When you recruit your weaknesses, you can develop all the area of your business at one time. All of them. You know, and you may only want 4 or 5 focuses, not focuses, 4 or 5 things you want to dabble in or play in. But over time, as that person shares their knowledge with you, you grow your experience and all those different arenas. And now I don't have to call Richard for final expense. I don't have to call Carol for disability. I can handle it myself. So your business can grow in more than one arena, and I think that's important for all of us. And the next steps, revisit your market analysis and periodically, and know it. Know what you're talking about when you talk to your clients. Because if you tell a client, yeah, you can do this time of year, and you're wrong, boom, that relationship is gone. Keep up on trends and changes that affect your clients, and share it. Facebook, social media, all the social media platforms, write them a personal letter, send them a card, call them and tell them. In April, I know that everybody's serial numbers are changing on their Social Security card, their Medicare supplement, their Medicare cards, their beneficiary cards. I've already notified my clients. They know there's going to be a strange card in the mail. Please don't throw it away, because it's real. You know, as long as it comes in this envelope. So share it. Develop 3 things soft tool for your for your products and services. The 3 things sounds crazy, but it works. You read that thing enough, you'll be able to just come out. These are the 3 things about this product I think I really like, and this is why. And they'll appreciate you for that. Work on your business and your personal intersection of needs all the time. everything you get into, work on that intersection of needs. Because I know when I work on the veterans parade or one of the other things I do in softball, I know when I talk to a coach and I've made a call or my partners have made a call, I have to listen to that coach unless he gets personal. Because he has the last word, I got the last act. But work on that intersection. How are you going to address those difficult situations? Work on that intersection of needs. And never, ever treat unequals as equals. And this is, I say that because when you treat unequals as equals, the one that's kicking butt, and you treat the unequals the same, well, why am I busting my behind? And they're getting the same benefits as I am. Never treat them the same in any environment. Schedule time for all your aspects of your business. Whether it be, I listened to, what was it called? The book John had, E-Myth. I recommend everybody read that and listen to that audiobook because E-Myth, it tells you to schedule time for the entrepreneur, schedule time for the manager, schedule time for the technician. And in the insurance industry, technical work is me sitting down with a client doing insurance policy. The management work is getting back, looking at what supplies I need to buy, what things I need to market, and things like that. The entrepreneur is, what's next? What products do I need to add to add value to my clients, to help my clients? But I added the fourth. There's only three. I added the fourth. What about Alex? What about Jeff? What about Liz? What about Stephanie? Kimberly? Sorry. What about... And I'll pay for that later.
Yeah.
And what about Daryl? What about Drew? What about it? You have to put time in your day for all aspects of your business, and you are your business, right? So if you don't put time in there for you, all the other stuff's gonna come falling down. So make sure you put schedule that time for yourself. Even if it's just to sit there and look at the wall, schedule that time. Because I have idiot time on my calendar, that's for my grandson. I just act a complete idiot, and that's my time with him. I have time for my wife, and they're all color-coded. That's why I really like having color-coded calendars. I color-code everything. When I say I'm taking my wife to dinner, I block out 3 hours, and we go to dinner for 3 hours. If we go over, fine, because that's my wife. She's earned it. And she renews my contract every year on October 5th, so I'm good. So, I passed my last review with a pretty flying color. But anyway, so that's all I have for you today. Any questions? Anybody have any questions? Yes, sir.
What do you mean by soft tool? 3 things,
Soft tool. So what I mean by soft tool is that this is a soft tool. That means this is something that I use to evaluate myself, to look at what I'm doing. It's a soft tool that you don't show clients. It's just for you. You can go back and go, okay, so we brought this new product done. How am I doing? What's important? My needs, their needs. Well, if it doesn't make sense for them, don't try to sell it to them. Don't offer it to them. Because when they tell you that, I don't need that mess, listen to them. Because my base is seniors. If a senior says, Alex, that doesn't make any, I'm lucky to have 10 people who tell me the truth. They're very blatantly honest with me because they have no filters. They don't need one. They've earned it. Right? And so when they say, no, that's stupid, okay, I'll table it and come back to it later. But the feedback that I've gotten from my clients is really nice. The logo came from them. Because I was going to start an insurance agency 3 years ago called Shade Tree Senior Solutions. Seniors bought off on the whole concept of it. But one of my clients said, what about the tree thing? You're really passionate about that. And that's where the leaf comes in. When the spring, summer, fall of life. It's true life. So being able to ask people, and also here's another thing, you gotta be receptive. You have to be receptive. You have to take it in. Because they'll tell you the truth, and sometimes the truth hurts. I've been shut down a couple of times. I've been cussed at and yelled at. But ultimately, most businesses fail within the first 5 years. I passed checkpoint 1. Now it's on to checkpoint 2. Okay? So thank you much for listening to me today. Hope you gained something from it. I hope the exercises helped out. But if you have any, please have my cell phone number. Please feel free to call me or email me at any time. Again, thank you for your time today.
Thank you, Alex. That was great. All right. Well, since we are actual education, then we ask you all to think about what you do with what you just heard. So I'd like everybody to take just a moment, stand up, and say, what are you going to take from this? What might you do tomorrow or the next week from what you just heard from Alex? And
You go first.
I'm gonna make you go first.
Stephanie.
I really like the, this here old folks really learned me something, the first, soft, what do you call these?
Soft tools.
Soft tools. I really like this, tool, so I think I might sit down and think about it and make it a little bit more effective. I did like that, like the soft tools that you gave us.
What I heard you say, Alex, was you reinforced the, commitment I've committed to a long time ago about being, committed to the clients to build relationships versus being transactional and stuff. Transactional is you're starting over every time. You're not building the deep, you go deep with your clients, you go deep with every possibility, even though sometimes you're not gonna make that sale that moment. All of a sudden, you get referrals from them anyway, and then you come back when they have the need for it. So, yeah, relationships are everything.
Well, for me, kind of like this chart, the simplicity of it. Right. So I'm in the process of writing a formal proposal to a prospective client. And they got burned by a previous coach. They were a coach, not a consultant. And so there's, you talk about listening to the customer and trying to figure out what their needs are. So I was trying to get through that pushback. They knew they need help, but they're not trusting. And so what you talked about today really helped me to, I guess, put words to what they were saying to me so I can get a better proposal.
Yeah, and I hang out with Alex a lot. And we talk about these things a lot. And the one thing I can say is Alex walks the walk. I mean, you are everything you preach and say you are. It has paid off, and it's been a great year for you, and I'm super happy for you. I think any little nugget of wisdom you can give us is worth listening to.
I think for me, Alex, we just got a new agency manager who's, I think, 31 years younger than I am, about the same age as my oldest son. And there's this, crank through, just start rolling these people through, do this many appointments. And one of the individuals that she recruited down from Tacoma, he came up to me the other day and said, my God, these people want to sit down, do face-to-face, and they want to take like 2 hours. And I looked him in the eye and said, that's all?
Right.
Because these farm clients, you block out a half a day.
Yeah.
And I guess what I got from this is stay the doggone course, because that's my core business. These older folks need the time. They need to be able to show you and express everything that's on their mind. And don't get sucked into this, turn them and burn them kind of mentality. So I appreciate the encouragement and kind of saying stay the course and go with it.
So one of the things that I like about working with seniors is that they've run into, and in our industries, and even in mortgages and in every other industry, what I call scorched earth agents. And what I mean by that is they sell and move on and never come back. And we need to get out of that practice. With, like you said, more and more people turning 65 or becoming seniors every day, what's going to happen is that these people will be jaded, they'll be hurt, they'll be not trusting of anyone. Take the time. It's a few minutes out of your day. In the grand scheme of thing, an hour and a half to our appointment in a 70-year life, a second, maybe. They've earned it, and it's really interesting. I've asked several of my clients to write books. I've had clients tell me stories that have me in tears. 12-year-old lady down in southern Oregon, horse got out. She went up the hill to get it. It was a really bad rainstorm. She brings back the horse. She looks down, and the house gets washed out in a flash flood. Kills her entire family. I mean, I sit with these people every day, and I listen to them, and I wonder why we don't value them more. Mm-hmm. It really frightens me. I've had clients tell me that they've been abused. I've called state police officers for them. It's a population that I believe that have been underserved, mistreated, and disregarded by younger folks, including my generation. And I'll be one in 13 years. So I want to do insurance better. I want to do sales better. I want all of us to do sales better. Take 15 minutes. Find out what their needs are. If they don't have a need, can I call you back in a couple of weeks and maybe we can sit down again? Ask permission. They appreciate, and like Liz said, they actually sign. When they approve a document, you can actually read their signatures. They've taken the time to say, you know what, I trust you, I like what you had to say, I believe in what you're doing here today, I'm gonna go ahead and approve this paperwork. It's a really big deal for them. And when you leave there with feeling better than you did when you came. And I like that when I leave a senior's home and they tell me, yeah, I really appreciate you coming by. I'm gonna have two of my friends call you. Or the next time you come by, I'll have friends here with me. And so this is something that I think all insurance, I should have put in the presentation, but I think anybody that sells a thing of value, a product or whatever, do a home delivery. It's wonderful. Because what I say is I'm going to have a policy delivered to me, and what I'm going to do is I'll bring it, we'll schedule an appointment when I get it, and I'll review it with them. And if you know anyone that would like to hear more about Medicare, please have them there. It's wonderful, and they're really good people, and they will tell you the truth. And I really like that about them. Yeah, I like working with my clients. So, again, what I took away was I had fun. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you everybody for sharing, and I can see some things I'm going to bring into the classroom from this for my future entrepreneurs and students that will go out in the working world. And I mean, what you get down to is the value of clients and the value of that individual to you, whether they're a senior or not. You know, they are. You know, this can be applied to anybody across the spectrum. So, but yeah, unfortunately, seniors haven't been valued like they should be. So anyway, thank you all for being here, spending your time with us. We've got. What is our next topic? I see the next one for the 12th up here, Drew.
Yep, that's the next one.
Adrian, is that our next one?
Yep.
That seems further out. Okay, so that's our next one. And that is the social media holy triad with Adrian Fritz, and that'll be over in Corvallis in a couple weeks. And so that's coming up. And so, again, thank you for your time, and we'll say bye to our Facebook people out there,
See
and
ya.
we'll say bye very much. Bye-bye.